it's interesting. The Fishers have been trying for some time to get me to come up, and they're proud of their plant, to get us to take a look at it and see how they can produce product and have it go through it. We were generally impressed with what we saw up there. They're very well organized. They seem to have which is not always true in our business, their act together as to how the product not only gets there, but how it's going to get out the other end and get on its way.
The real interesting things I found was how every piece of equipment is computerized, and I was fascinated by that because it seems as though so much work has been, manual work has been eliminated, and the high-tech methods they're using of cutting the steel and punching the holes and that sort of thing really fascinated me.
Well, I think it's the computerization of the operation to be able to work with the CAD machine and start it in one location and run the entire process through on the computer and virtually never have to do a lot of the hand work that was necessary before. I think that it eliminates a lot of the possibility of error and downtime. It probably facilitates in getting the whole project through the plant a lot quicker and with a lot less problems.
I was very impressed with the plant. Having been in the steel business myself before, the one machine that fascinated me was the 10 drill machine, where you can drill horizontally, vertically, 2, 3, 4 bits at one time, all computerized, all laid out ahead of time. It's amazing compared to the old days of a small T-square, a piece of chalk, a drill punch, and a hand drill. Those days are gone, I guess. So I don't see how competitors can keep up with you, the way your plant's laid out and the efficiency of it.
We decided that if we're going to be serious about this business for the long haul, we had to take a look at the various types of technology that were out there and come up with a better way.
So after 4 years of research work, we put together what we think is the best concept that you'll find in the East Coast.
The machinery is a lot more accurate. The way we used to do it in the old days, we had center punches and drills, and when you drilled, a lot of times the drill would move off the center punch mark and things wouldn't be quite as accurate, but the machinery that we have now is accurate within a 36-second to a 64th of an inch.
I may want to point out that since we've got the shop in operation, we've done several 1,000 to 2,000 ton jobs and didn't have to use a bullpen in the field. This drill is a 10-spindle drill, 6 spindles being vertical, 2 spindles on each side being horizontal. The drill eliminated our tri-square, soapstone, and center punch that we used at the Hogan drill that we used in the shop and took the place of 5 men on the floor. This is a 57-inch cutoff saw that not only cuts the steel to length, but mills it at the same time. And by doing that, it eliminates us from ordering the steel from the mill milled and gives us about a 2-week lead time in the fabrication of the columns. In addition to that, by cutting them off with a saw in lieu of a torch, it gives us a much better job. For any steel under 1 inch thick, we use this punch system. It's faster than the drill and very, very accurate. This is a very unique coping machine made by Penninghaus in Germany This machine also eliminates the tri-square and the soapstone and does a much more dependable job than cutting it by hand. With this cambering machine that we designed ourselves and installed right in our line, we can camber a 30-inch beam in only 5 minutes. This is our plate duplicator, and I have a special appreciation for this machine. I can remember of literally laying out thousands of plates, one at a time. But with this machine, you lay out one plate and you can make as many as you'd like. It does the work of 4 men. This is our angle master, and like the plate duplicator, it plays a very important role in our production. The only difference is it shears and punches angles. On a typical 2,000-ton job, we may have 5,000 to 6,000 angle clips and 2,000 to 3,000 plates. So you can see the importance that these two machines have in getting a quality product out in time. This computerized control system minimizes our material handling. The operator can direct any piece of steel to go wherever he likes. After 18 months of research and engineering, we have developed this shot blast and painting system, the only one of its kind in the world. What makes it so unique is the computer-controlled overhead monorail system that carries the steel through the shot blaster, cleans it free of rust and scale in preparation for the paint booth.
One of the things that impressed me the most, and I don't know that it's unique in the fabricating industry or not, is their ability to sandblast and paint at the same plant in the same line. Most fabricators you talk to, one of the problems they have is after they fabricate the steel, it takes 2 to 3 weeks for a shipment to a sandblasting and painting place. Fisher does it here in one step if you need it. I was involved with Fisher because the original people that I was dealing with were not delivering the way they're supposed to. We came up here in July of 1990 and spoke to Steve Fisher and Gary Erb and did a lot of talking, told them about a lot of my problems, and I needed really a lot of magic pulled here. And Gary Erb and Steve Fisher assured me that with their capabilities they could deliver. They have a updated estimating service. They do their own detailing. They have a CAD service which as updated as you can get. They can detail a project complete in as minimal time as possible. Detailing is a very time-consuming part of a project, and especially in public projects like I'm involved in, time is of the essence. And if you can save 3, 4, 5 weeks, that's an amazing amount of savings.
Also, that takes a great degree of good communication, and we've always found that Fishers have had a good communication link from one department to another and with all their customers, and that has always been a real asset. They seem to have a full line of capabilities going the whole way from design right through fabrication and, of course, erection, so that changes can be quickly made. There's a lot of flexibility to make those changes and keep the project on schedule.
last job Fisher did was a warehouse, which was a clear span building. The trusses were delivered in two pieces and assembled with only connection being at the columns at each end and a joint in the middle. Every piece fit perfectly. There were no holes that had to be reamed. There were no plates that didn't fit. Everything worked fine. The fabrication was what you would call top-notch.
We had no problems at all with the erection. The pieces that came in matched perfectly. The erector had no complaints at all of any mismatched pieces or any piece not being able to fit properly into the building. The sizes of the columns we had there, the number of connections, the bolting was amazing, and for the building to work the first time was really impressive.
Never put a building up yet that didn't have changes. If you have a fabricator that's going to come in and hit you over the head, you have a no-win situation. You must have the change, and then you have to try to negotiate your best price. I have to tell you, we've just gone through some changes on the project we're doing with you right now out at Franklin and Marshall College. The stairs went in were incorrect. 2 out of the 3 were incorrect, not from your standpoint, but from the design standpoint. And your people jumped right in, even did a little overtime, and gave us a modest price to put us back online. Been dealing with the Fisher folks for, I guess, 10 years at least that I'm aware of. The first job that we did with Fisher was the SmithKline-Beckman project out in King of Prussia. I remember that job because it was a big one for us. It was a $150 million project, and you folks did the first phase, which was an 850-ton steel project for yourselves. And that job went very well. We were on time. We had a very tough owner as far as schedule was concerned, and we brought it in. And in no small terms, it's the steel that made the package go.
This shopping center required a tremendous amount of restructure of the walkway malls within the shopping center. And it needed to have certain type of contractors to work in there, and all the work had to be done at night in order to keep away from the public. Steve Fisher and company had to turn 40-foot beams in a 39-foot space. Now, what I mean by that is we had to span the walkway of these malls and secure skylights, raise the roof and secure skylights to this steel. This steel had to be pivoted within a very refined space, and confined space, I should say. This took the expertise of a company that knew what they were doing. And Steve Fisher's company came out very well in doing the proper job for us.
We built a 150,000 square foot industrial building, and we had a tenant that had to go into that building in a very short period of time. We built the building in 67 calendar days, 150,000 square feet, and putting the tenant in as well. And we never could have done that without the subcontractors that we had on the job, and Fisher was one of those contractors.
I think the reason we've continued to work with them over the years is they proved to be cost competitive with other steel fabricators. They've also, their quality, their workmanship has been second to none, and they've always got in and got the job done with very little, if any, downtime.
It's a people business. We felt after we checked out the Fishers that they personally were very, very involved in the success of their company. And that's important to us. So when we checked them out, they checked out thoroughly as far as we were concerned, put them on our list, and we were successful in getting together on the Hershey project, the Hershey project we were doing for Hershey Foods. I think the results speak for themselves. I think you can measure a firm on how they produce. I don't mean to keep emphasizing that over, but it's important. The Fisher organization, they told us when the steel was going to get there. they got behind in a couple areas, and what they were able to do with doing their own erection is bring the job back on schedule. You got an A rating, and I think our people put that in, even in writing to you. We don't do that very often. When the project manager takes the time to tell someone in writing how he felt about them, that has to bode well for Fisher in the future with our organization, because it means something. It means you performed at all aspects of the business.